Hi everybody, it's Dawn from Crafting on the Green. I hope you're well. Today I want to show you how to make up a really quick Christmas card. This is using the Curvy Christmas stamp set, which is going to be in the spring to summer catalogue for next year, for 2021. It's part of the Quite Curvy Variety Bundle, which is available from pre-order from tomorrow, the 3rd of November. So I thought I would just show you a couple of bits with it. So this card is, as I say, it's a very, very quick card, which is brilliant, especially if you want to make multiple. So we're going to be using the Stamparatus, which, as you may or may not know, is perfect for doing multiple cards. So here's the Stamparatus. What I am going to do is just pop my piece of card. This is my Whisper White cardstock, which will be the front layer. I'm just going to pop this on here, and I use the notches to line it up. You can get a front sheet which will show you a grid, but for something like this you just want to make sure you know where it starts. So I always start it at the start of this notch here. It's handy to know if you're doing multiple where you're laying it. And what I'm going to be doing is I have this just here. We're going to use this this lovely long starry curve. So I just want to place that on there, and then I'm going to use the Stamparatus to pick that up. It usually sticks for the first time, so you may have to just readjust. These photopolymer stamps are wonderful. So I'm going to use Seaside Spray, one of my favourite in colours at the moment, and give this a good old covering. And what I want to do is just push that down, just like that. And then the Stamparatus is wonderful because what we're going to do is lift out this part, move it down a notch, and then do the same thing. And what that does, it keeps it perfectly aligned and just moves it down a step. And if you see here it's not quite taken, that's fine. All you do, close it again and push again, and it keeps it in exactly the same place. So I'm going to do that one more time. Lift out this board, move it down another notch, and give it a little bit more ink. And then do it a third time. Perfect. So you see it's stepped it down and kept everything perfectly aligned. So if you were doing multiple cards, you could just keep replacing your white card here, keep it going until you've got as many backgrounds as you need, which is very, very useful. I do love the Stamparatus. So next I want to use the May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. I'll take this off. I'm not going to use this one on the Stamparatus. I am just going to use it on a block. Now, it already has a bit of a curve to it, so I can't do it this way around. So I'm going to turn my card around, and you can decide where you want it to go. And you can move it slightly if you want there to be a bit more of a curve. There we go. You can amend it a little bit, just by lifting and moving. I'm going to pop that on there, just like that. So next I want the gold. So here I've got some lovely gold ink and a couple of small blocks. And I'm just going to use the stars here just to fill in the little stars on here. And it doesn't matter too much if it's not lined up perfectly. I think that adds a charm to it when it's slightly wonky. Maybe that goes that way. They do kind of fit. You just have to turn the star around to which way it's going. That's a bit of a wonky one, but that's all right. As I say, I actually quite like the wonky. Right, so now I'm just going to take some of the smaller ones and just fill in a couple more. Again, it's not really worth doing this one on the Stamparatus because it'd still be quite a lot of moving around. It's great if there's something you want to keep in the same position, but because we've only got one of each star, it would just be a bit too faffy, so we might as well do it this way. Okay, so that's our stars filled in. So what I want to do now, I've got some ribbon, which is a Seaside Spray. It's a metallic ribbon, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just going to tie a ribbon over this side, and I have a little gadget that I like to use because it makes tying ribbons so much easier. So all you do is tie your ribbon. These little gizmos do come with instructions, by the way. There we go. So now I have a ribbon. And I'm just going to chop that off about there. So what I want to do is basically have this laid over the corner. If I can find my glue dots. They're the big ones, the mini ones, there we go. So I'll just pick up one of the glue dots and then pop it where you want it to go. So I think I want mine about here. Just like that. Then we're going to turn it over, and if it's up to you whether you want to use glue or tape. I'm just going to use a tiny bit of sellotape to hold it down. So I want it to be about there. Because this is obviously going to be covered, so it doesn't really matter what it looks like too much. I want that to be about there. So then that's held in place. Now I've got a Seaside Spray background, so I'm just going to stick that onto there. And for that I will use my Tombow glue. It's always worth putting a tiny blob extra on the ribbon, which will just help it stay in place. Although it shouldn't move anyway. So I'm just going to put that straight on the top, just like that. And then I've got my pre-cut card base, which again I'm just going to stick that onto there. Make sure it's the right way up. There we go. Try and make it straight. Good thing about Tombow is it does, it gives you a bit of wiggle room. So if you put it down and it's not quite straight, you can just move it into position. And I must excuse the black nails because I did paint them for Halloween this weekend and haven't got round to taking them off yet. So, but right, so we're almost done with the card. The last thing we need is our rhinestone jewels. And we'll just put some of those on. So I use my craft knife because it helps me pick them up and be able to put them in a good position. So you can put them wherever you fancy. And you can put on as many as you like, but I think 3 is a good little number. And that is it. That is our card made. We'll just take the foam folder and just give it a good squish. And there we go. Nice and straightforward, doesn't take long at all. And as I say, if you're using the Stampin' Artist, you can make lots of these all in one go. And just have a bit of a production line going. But I hope you like that video. If you do, please like it and, you know, add me to your subscriptions and everything else that you do on YouTube. I will see you in another video soon. Thanks very much. Take care.